So today we're gonna get this thing squared away. So if you saw my short, you know this was given to me for free. This is an Alienware 15R3. So remember I said the back wouldn't stay? There was only one screw. Now I did find an extra screw. Now what you can do when you don't have appropriate screws to screw it in, you can buy a kit. So, and I'll link all of this in Amazon. So this is a computer laptop screw replacement kit. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this open, and I need to get similar screws. Now I looked up a breakdown tutorial on this. Luckily, all these screws are same long length screws, so that's a good thing. However, there's some other things I need to talk about before I get this screwed in and all that jazz. And that is the condition this laptop in. As you saw on the video, it does work, but it has some caveats. And that is, let's see here if I got some more screws. Looks like these are my screws. Yes. All right. Cool thing I like about these kits is they also give you a grid. So if you need to, say, hold screws, you can. So keep that in mind. So that is the screw kit. All right. We're not going to use this yet. We're going to actually keep it open for a second so I can show you some things about this computer and the internals. As you can see, that's the RAM. This is the drive cage. It didn't come with no screws either. Now, luckily with the screw kit, you can mount it down. Now, it does have this cool thing here. It got two pegs right there. You can just peg it in. But nowadays, most people don't use mechanical drives, or you use like a slower SSD right here. So could do that, but it's here. Now, I had an old 128 NVMe drive. So to show you, this thing has 1, 2, 3 spots for the NVMe drive. However, I'm worried that this spot does not work, because I originally had that here and it didn't work. So I'm thinking only these two slots work. Now, I do have another NVMe test. I bought a 512, it's a Gen 4, but it's a 512 NVMe that I'm gonna put in to test. All right, so the other caveats, and this will make you go like, bruh, and that is basically, the battery here is basically dead. So this thing is basically a desktop. It's a mobile desktop. It's not a mobile laptop. It's a mobile desktop. And then the other thing underneath this little paper sheath right here is the Wi-Fi. Everything is wired appropriately. I double checked it, but it does not work. So I'm using a little Wi-Fi dongle right here to give me Wi-Fi access and everything. So I'm gonna get this working. I've already did some tests. I put Nobara Linux on it, and I know some of you are like, why did you even put Windows 10? One, this is an older laptop. That's, well, you can quote quote hack Windows 11 on it, but this is an older laptop that doesn't qualify to go to Windows 11. So you do better putting an operating system that's gonna last. So I put Nobara up here because, one, I like Nobara, and two, this has an NVIDIA card. So you want something that will support the NVIDIA card. However, when I prep this to sell, I'm probably gonna put Linux Mint on it, because I can double check documentation. I don't think Nobara has a OEM version that you can put on to give to people so they can set it up themselves. So I'm probably going to redo this laptop anyway. Just a FYI. So with that, here's the M2 SSD. I'm going to go ahead and pop this in. And we're going to get this kind of prepped. Now, I originally wanted to take this with me. I'm going on a vacation really soon. And I was hoping that since this was a free machine given to me, that this was gonna handle some of my gaming needs really appropriately. But I've already did some tests, and believe it or not, this thing has issues with... I have another gaming laptop that I'm also going to be listing to sell, so don't be surprised. I'm probably going to list these after I go on my vacation because I need to make up for something else. And I'll give you a glimpse of that something else right now, and that's this guy. Also going to be making a video about that. So, I'm going to probably set these to sell after I get done working with these and everything. I need a appropriate screw. When you have the ultimate screw kit, and sometimes it's still hard to find a screw, right? There we go. That way I can get this nice and seated. All right. And the only way I want to do it after the fact is because that way I'm here versus, like, you know, I'm not gone on vacation and somebody orders the laptop and I'm still like 2 to 3 days out, and I don't want to get like no eBay strike, or if I'm doing marketplace, I don't want to have people waiting. So I will do a video of me saying, hey, I'm getting rid of this if you want this machine. I will include the dongle because I bought an extra dongle for it to run, and I might be nice and I might just put Windows 10 back on it. But for now, for my testing needs and what I like to do, I'm going to have Linux on it. Unless you're someone that likes Linux like me, and you're like, hey, Techromancer, leave Linux on it, bro. I'll run it, and then, you know, I'll leave Linux on it. All right. But I just wanted to go over all the caveats of this machine. In addition to the last caveat, I showed it on my short, but I'm going to re-show it again. All right, so first things first, let's get this kind of wedged in appropriately. All right, so one large screw here. Some might argue that's all I need to do, but I'm a professional. All right, snap that in, snap that in. Make sure everything's form fit. Let me get my screw kit. And let's get the rest of the long screws, which I threw the extra in here so I know which ones they are. It's these right here. So I need 2, 4, 6. So let's start with this one. It's not catching. Did the previous owner strip the screws, and that's why it's not going in? Yeah, it's not catching. Maybe it's these bigger screws right beside it. Oh, that feels like more. No, it's the bigger screws. I thought it was these. It's actually those. Come on. Yeah, that's going in. All right, cool. I know some people are watching me doing this. It's like, dude, why don't you get an auto screwdriver? I actually do have an auto screwdriver. I prefer this because it's magnetized, and I'm gonna show you a really cool thing about this screwdriver. I mentioned this screwdriver before, and I'll have this on the list too, but I like that part twist this, so the twisting can be really frictionless. So I actually like using it more than an auto screwdriver. I only use a automatic screwdriver if, like, say for instance, I get an old laptop like this and one of the screws is being stubborn, then you grab the auto screwdriver and you screw it in that way. All right. The NVMe that I bought, the team group, will also be listed too. I forgot to say that earlier. So let's check the listing under this video. I have all that, all the stuff that I used today listed, and the USB dongle that I had listed. And the USB dongle is actually important because I use two of them. So one is the ED Max. It's a, did I put the wrong screw thread in there? Is this acting like, this one is not catching for some reason. Oh, smaller head. Smaller head. All right. There we go. Ah! Fail. Screw overboard. All right, there we go. Hopefully this is the right one. I mean, I know it's the right one, but hopefully it'll work. That's more like it. Okay, so there's a problem with this hole. Just a FYI. This one will not screw in appropriately, so they must have broke something on this side. Oh, wait. No, I like it want to stay. It's not tightening though. So that's weird. Yeah, we'll tighten a different hole. Over here. Okay. There might be some things broken on this laptop because that hole's not tightening either. Trying to get it to tighten. See? Screws just wants to come straight out. Well, some might say I got enough screws in it to hold, but like I said, I'm a professional. Okay, that screw works. Okay, so these two do not work. Just a FYI if you end up buying this thing from me. All right, we're gonna turn this bad boy around and show the other caveat. And let's put this up because I'm not gonna need it for now. I need it later though. I'm redoing it. So I told you about the Wi-Fi. I told you about the battery. I told you about the NVMe slots, which we're about to test again. The other caveat about this laptop is the fact that, I'm gonna open it back up, this front chassis. So I looked into it. I looked into a full teardown. You can buy the top deck, and actually the F8 key is loose on this keyboard. Just so you know, you can buy a new top deck. You got to make sure that it's official, but there's a caveat. Even if you go buy a full top deck for this laptop, you basically got to tear this whole laptop down to just replace the top deck. Now, for me, even though, you know, I like doing stuff like that, but for me, the time and input in it is not worth all that time, that much work and effort to me to break this whole thing down and re-put it back together just for the top deck. For me personally, I have no problems of sitting it on a stand and using it as a, you know, a standard desktop laptop to game on. However, I know some of you want a mobile experience, even though you ain't going to get a mobile experience anyway, because the battery's dead on this thing. Yeah, so, but if the battery was good, you can carry it around. You probably want it to look nice and neat, and then, yeah, tear it down and all that. But it is what it is. Now, luckily, this came with a charger. I'm going to link a laptop multi-adapter set. Luckily, I had bought one on a deal at Walmart, Wally World. But you can also get them at Amazon and all of that as well. Now, the cool thing, I think, what you can do with this laptop, something that I need to buy myself because I do not have one, is you can upgrade this thing with an eGPU. So, I love the green glow this has. All right. Well, that's it for this. I'm going to do some testing, and hopefully you like what I did here. If not, you know, it's all good. But until next time, guys, peace, love, stay excellent, and I'm going to get this thing good and Gucci, and in the next video, when I come back from vacation, I will have this and maybe another gaming laptop that I will be selling either on eBay or Facebook Marketplace. So let's go ahead and get these going. But I should do one thing to just let you know if that slot does work, because I did say I was going to test that NVMe. So storage or disk usage analyzer. Yeah, and that's really it. All right, so it sees that. It does not see, hold on. Let me go to disk. Oh, it does see it. So that slot does work. I don't know why this 128 didn't work in the other slot. I guess for boot priority, you have to put it in the second slot or the first slot. But hey, it does work. Just FYI. All right. Like I said, guys, again, peace, love, stay excellent. And I'll catch you in the next one. And I'll let you know when I am getting rid of this bad boy. All right. Peace.